Hi, welcome back. Guys, Silver Palace has the same gacha system as Arknights Endfield because I have to save up 120 pulls to get my limited characters. It's obviously dead on arrival. What? It's mathematically the most rewarding big gacha system, besides NCE. What? Arknights Endfield is in the top 3 most successful gacha launches of all time? What? Sensor Tower is at best making an educated guess? No. When Sensor Tower appeals to my agenda, it's correct. And when it appeals to yours, it's misinformation. Okay, jokes aside, it seems we have to do this again for like the 5th time because people still think that Enfield's gacha system sucks absolute balls. I already made a short about this, but people are really talking about it way more than I thought, so let's talk about it here too. People are saying Silver Palace is dead on arrival because of this system. People are saying Enfield is dying because of this system. My brother, you are using Sensor Tower. People are saying that they'd actually prefer gambling with a 160 to 180 hard pity system rather than just saving 120 for every banner they want to pull. So Silver Palace's gacha system will have base mechanics almost identical to Enfield. What we don't know is if the weapon banner system will be like Enfield, if the 50-50 system will be like Enfield, or if they'll have additional things that make Enfield's system so much more rewarding to play, like the dossiers. Those are good, by the way. They're not FOMO. That's kind of stupid. Who the hell looks at, oh look, I get 10 free pulls if I pull 60 times. That's so worth it. Oh, and the biggest difference is that it will cost 360 per pull instead of 500. And before we get into anything else, this is like the stupidest thing to complain about in any gacha game. Oh my god, it costs more to pull in this game than this game. The only time this was bad was in Stella Sora, where they doubled the amount of currency per pull from the beta to launch. Other than that, there's no difference. I've explained this before. In Fate Grand Order, you need 3 Saint Quartz per pull, or 30 for an 11 pull. I want you to think about this for just a second. 30 Saint Quartz for an 11 pull? That sounds like heaven. I only need 6 basic chests and I'll get an 11 pull. Except that's not how it works. In Fate Grand Order, you get around 900 to 1000 pulls every year if there's no 10th anniversary to give you an extra 1000 pulls on top of that. And that means you're guaranteed like 3 SSR units because the pity is so high. These games don't have a set amount of gems they give you per patch. They have a set amount of pulls they give you per patch, and just because Silver Palace needs 360 gems per pull while Buwa and the Hoyo games need 160, doesn't mean that you're gonna get that many less pulls in Silver Palace. Arknights need 600 Orundum per pull, and it's like one of the most generous gacha games of all time. You get more pulls in Arknights per year than in Buwa or HSR, for example, and it's 600, not 160 per pull. And in Enfield, we've got more than 280 pulls in 1.0, around 70 to 80 pulls in 1.1, around 100 in 1.2, and another 80 pulls in 1.3. Not including dossiers or expiring pulls, by the way. I've kept track over the months. Getting these resources also doesn't take 20 hours out of your day like other people try to claim. It takes just as much as other games. There is no difference between a game asking for 1000 gems per pull or 1 gem per pull. The only difference is how many total pulls you get for every character banner. So wait to see how many pulls we get in Silver Palace so you can judge it then. Let's move on, and before we tackle more of the gacha system, which people really hate again, let's talk about if Arknights Endfield is dead and if Silver Palace is gonna follow in its footsteps like so many people say. So it had a top 3 or top 2 gacha launch of all time, making more than $173 million in just 2 weeks, behind Genshin Impact and possibly Honkai Star Rail. But now, Sensor Tower says that it only made $5 million last month and $9.5 million this month. Okay, we're like doing the same dance over and over and over and over again. It's the same thing with the gacha community every month. When Sensor Tower agrees with me, it's good and my game is winning. When Sensor Tower disagrees with me, it's misinformation. Is Arknights Endfield not doing as good as when it launched? Yes. Is that completely normal? Also yes. And no, the drop in revenue isn't even that bad when you compare it to other games, especially when you look at the nuance of why Enfield dropped in revenue. But let's look at the revenue of Wuthering Waves when it first launched for a second, and this is like kinda confusing because Sensor Tower was changing up reports and splitting servers back then, so let's take it month by month. It reported 46.5 million in June, 29.5 million in July, then 13.5 million in August. Then, oh my god, it's so low in September, it made $6.7 million, then only $7 million in October. It must be EOS soon. That's exactly what people were saying back then, remember? But now it's Enfield's turn. Arknights Endfield themselves have confirmed that more than 60 to 70% of their revenue comes from PC and console, and so we should absolutely not look at Sensor Tower when trying to see Enfield's revenue. Except we still do, because that's what Doom posters do apparently. Especially because Sensor Tower still underreports. Now in fact, there's a website called Famitsu that has access to paid Sensor Tower data, which could mean it's more trustworthy than the revenue.nneed website, but I have nothing confirming nor denying that. Take that with a grain of salt. And this graph shows that Endfield from April 2026 to May 2026 experienced more revenue and download growth than both Neverness to Everness and Wuthering Waves. So no, it's not dead. And even if we don't trust this article, the people saying Endfield are dead are either using Sensor Tower or Twitch Tracker. Now, while I did expect Endfield to make way more money off of Camille than they did, it's also easily explainable why they didn't. Patch 1.2 was an extremely long patch with only one character, and it gave people more than 100 pulls, so obviously people had time to save. Silver Palace isn't gonna die. It's gonna do great, probably. Especially if the weapon and gear systems work like they do in Endfield, which saves all of us a ton of headaches. Okay, I just said weapons in Endfield are good. I must be the devil who lies to you about gacha systems. Okay, I won't get into it too much because I have a very huge video about rating the worst to best gacha systems coming up very soon, and I don't want to spoil that video, but TLDR, Endfield's gacha system isn't actually the devil, because both mathematically, and practically, because some people say, oh no, mathematically yes, but practically no, Endfield gives you more characters. Please, just save 120 pulls every time you want to pull a character. No, the game doesn't give us 60 pulls a patch like Genshin. We actually get 80 to 100 every patch, and we got more than 280 in 1.0. And 1.4 looks like a huge patch that will feed us good, so calm down. The 120 pulls thing being anti-gambling is a genuine issue, because the argument of so many people is that they don't want to save and want to spend on every banner. I thought when this Endfield community told everyone else you are gambling addicts for not wanting to save 120 pulls and impulse pulling on every banner, that we were just way over exaggerating, but the genuine opposition to this gacha system is that you can't gamble. Again, tune into the big gacha system video coming very soon, and I will be explaining absolutely everything about like 12 to 13 different gacha systems. For now, all you need to know is save 120 pulls every time you want to pull, genuinely. What I will briefly discuss right now is the weapon banner, which people also don't like, and while I do definitely agree that we need another source of Arsenal tickets outside of character gacha, which might be coming soon by the way, because a mode that gave us Arsenal tickets in the first beta was teased very recently, this weapon banner system will still give you limited weapons for most of your limited operators, again, if you follow the rules and save up your Arsenal tickets. And if you don't, then weapon banners last for 3 character banners, meaning you can get it eventually on other banners. And if you end up missing one because you don't have enough tickets or you got lucky, then the battle pass gives you free alternative signatures for everyone. That is always a second best in slot for every limited character. The biggest difference between a limited and an alternate signature weapon has been Fang Yi's, and the smallest has been Camille's, which is actually better than his limited in some cases, like with Rosie and Mifu. Again, you don't have to spend your aura barrels on weapons because you only spend them on characters, and if you follow the rules of the damn game, you will get a lot of characters even if you got unlucky, because 120 hard guarantee is 40 pulls less than 160 and 60 less than 180, which is a lot, and you don't have to spend any on weapons, which is another 70 on average in other games. Now, we don't know if Silver Palace will adopt the same weapon system, but I truly hope that they do, and I do also hope that they adopt the same non-RNG gear system because it's absolutely goated. So for the billionth time, glory to Hyper Griffin, glory to Element A if they make Silver Palace have the same systems as Endfield. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and join the Express Rain Discord server for a fun and lovely community to hang out with. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.